Hello, welcome to my channel, I Dream of Books. My name is Elliot. Today I'll be doing a review of No Country for Old Men. So without further ado, let's get into it. The blurb is set in our own time along the bloody frontier between Texas and Mexico. This is Cormac McCarthy's first novel since Cities of the Plain completed his acclaimed best-selling border trilogy. Roland Moss, hunting antelope near the Rio Grande, instead finds men shot dead, a load of heroin, and more than $2 million in cash. Packing the money out, he knows, will change everything. But only after 2 more men are murdered does a victim's burning car lead Sheriff Bell to the carnage out in the desert. And he soon realizes how desperately Moss and his young wife need protection. One party in the failed transaction hires an ex-Special Forces officer to defend his interests against a mesmerizing freelancer, while on either side are men accustomed to spectacular violence and mayhem. The pursuit stretches up and down and across the border, each participant seemingly determined to answer what one asks another. How does a man decide in what order to abandon his life? A harrowing story of a war that society is waging on itself, and an enduring meditation on the ties of love and blood and duty that inform lives and shape destinies. No Country for Old Men is a novel of extraordinary resonance and power. I have a disclaimer. This book can be graphic and dark at times throughout the story, so if you're not into those sorts of things in a book, this book may not be for you. This is what I liked about the book. The first sentence in the book is interesting. Makes you want to read more to learn about what happened to make the character say what he said in that sentence. The first chapter draws you in, sets the story up well, and leaves you wanting for more. For example, the first chapter makes you wonder about how dark will this story actually be, as well as asking questions about the characters and more about the story. The way Cormac McCarthy starts the book in the first chapter is insane too. It can be graphic for some people. I was surprised by how much action and graphic description starts the book. McCarthy weaves multiple storylines throughout the book. He gives backstory and puts you in the mind of the sheriff before going to the other characters. The way he does it really sets up what comes next throughout the book, from chapter to chapter and part to part. The dialogue is quick and to the point. The characters don't go on too many tangents and say what they need to say. It's sparse. It's sort of what a Western would be. Well, it would be what a Western would be in a modern time. There are a few things that I didn't not like or like in the story. McCarthy doesn't use quotation marks to denote when someone is saying something. That took a minute to get used to. But once I got used to it, it didn't really make a difference in how I read the book. There was one time where the sheriff used racist language. It was one time and used to set the background of the time, and it was not meant to just be thrown in there for shock value. There are grammatical and sentence structure errors to give a down south vibe to the story of uneducated people. Another way to set the time that helped put you in the time. McCarthy uses the theme of the death penalty a few times in the story. Didn't really add to the story in my opinion. What I did not like about the story, there was a major plot point that happened closer to the end of the story I did not like. It is a major spoiler, and I do not want to spoil it for anyone who's not read it yet. But I was digging the story until that plot point happened, and it almost forced me to put the book down and not finish it because I was unhappy about it. One other thing I did not like was that McCarthy overused sentences with multiple ands. For example, a character did this, and then this, and then this, and then this. It didn't necessarily bother me to a huge extent. It just stood out to me when it happened, and it felt like it slowed the story down a little bit. Overall, I like this story very much. McCarthy's style of writing is different, and after reading The Eye of the World and Old Man's War, it was jarring. But if you could get used to the style of writing, it's an enjoyable read. I'm looking forward to reading The Road and what that book is like. If you liked my review, please feel free to pick up No Country for Old Men. I will have a link to the book in the description. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you liked my review. If you have any book or video recommendations, leave them in the comments below. Have a great day.